Hello, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot. Still haven't gone to that website. I believe the H is silent, though. There's the other side. I gotta get to the website to see why that said Telema instead of Thelma. Telema? Telema, yeah. Renata Lechner. It does actually look... Alright, anyway. Renata Lechner is the one who made this, if you want this deck. And the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Big fan of those cards, for whatever reason. It seems like they're just very easy to read, very fluid to me. Capricorn. Alright, so... Is there one or two cards? There's two. I'm cheating. Okay, good, good, good. Now, when it comes between you and your partner, I'm getting where they're standing seems to be the strongest card. And that's the Six of Swords. And what I'm feeling from this, with the Six of Swords, is something... Well, I'm getting fast movement. Their spiritual card here is the Eight of Wands, which I can't pick up. Eight of Wands, which is fast movement. And where they're standing is the Six of Swords. Like, something quickly is happening here. This is very reminiscent to the Virgo one. Something quickly is happening here, and it's causing them to move on, or they feel like they have to. And I'm getting their challenge card here is the Three of Swords with the passion. Like, I'm getting that they're... See, I'm getting passion in the sense like they're really upset. And I'm feeling like this is in the challenge position, like they need to express how they really feel. They really need to explain, not only to you, but to themselves, like what they're really going through. They need to go through it. Like they really need to dig in and feel and let it air out. That seems to be the kicker, what's kicking things forward here, which is very reminiscent to Virgo. Not exactly the same, but reminds me of it a lot. Although I just did Virgo, so not for nothing. Because I feel like when this happens, your partner, instead of like addressing how they really feel, because I feel like they're really upset about it, whatever's happening here, something happens very fast, they feel like they have to move on from it, they are disappointed, but instead of like addressing those feelings and really getting upset about it, they got this Empress feel, which can go to any gender. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I'm feeling the way they're looking at it is like, you know what, this isn't the time to fall apart about this. I got to keep myself together and just make it through it. And if I just make it through it, it'll be fine. That'll be okay. And I'm getting where you're standing spiritually is the Nine of Swords. I'm getting like you're upset about it. You're upset for your partner. And you're seeing the loss here, and you're not understanding how they seem to be keeping it together so well. They seem to be so detached from the actual pain of the situation, but you know your partner well enough that you know that they're definitely upset about this. They just don't seem to be showing it. It's almost like they're being held together by pins that could be pulled out at any second. So I feel like you're looking at them though, and you're kind of like, you know them well enough to be like, I don't understand how you're not so upset, but you seem to be so well put together with the situation, and I feel like you're looking at this, and you don't want to knock them down. I mean, you definitely don't want to hurt them, so you don't want to knock them down. Him, he, she, they, whatever gender they may be. But you're also like, you're holding to the side, and you're just kind of waiting for the moment that you need to help them. So you don't want to knock them down, but you're holding it to it, and you're like, I don't understand how you're holding it together. And if you can, that's fine, but I'm going to hold to the side here, just keep a lookout just in case you need me. And you're kind of feeling like I expect you're going to need me at some point. Now, when your partner's holding it together and very strong, because the Empress is extremely strong in my opinion. She's very strong. She not only looks out for everybody, she's not only very motherly, but she's very, like, she can take the brunt. She can get through a lot. She's been through a lot. She can handle things. Again, don't get caught up in the gender. I'm just, it's the Empress card, so I'm using that pronoun for her. The Moon card on your side it's saying don't take it at face value. Your partner's not dealing with it, is what I'm getting. They're not dealing with it. They're really not. They're just surviving through it. They're just pushing through it. Their actual emotions, they're putting on hold. They're like putting them on pause. But how long can that be is the question. I don't feel like it's good that they stifle it down. Things don't have to fall apart. Like, they can have their emotion, they can vent it out, they can feel through it and not lose anything. Like, things don't have to fall apart, but I feel like the way they're looking at it is like if they have this emotion, things could fall apart, and I don't feel like that's true. Now, I'm getting, as things keep going forward, and you're looking at your partner, you know them well enough that there's no way they're getting through this without being upset, and you're starting to wonder, like, what's going on here? And this is an interesting connection here, because what I get for you is where this is going, is the Nine of Pentacles with the Prosperity. And how you get here is by getting your partner to open up. And I feel like you have to kind of... I'm getting you're being very cautious, but very caring, yet you're not walking away from the issue. You're just you're talking about the issue. And you're talking about it in very pleasant terms, in very empowering terms is what I'm getting. And you're getting your partner to talk about it. Because with the Nine of Pentacles and the Prosperity, it's like, I feel like you're highlighting everything that was good and everything that your partner did that was good. Because it feels like they had to walk away from something. It happened fast. They are definitely really upset about it. But I feel like you're starting the conversation. You're coming through with the Nine of Pentacles and the Prosperity. Like, everything they did right, everything they did well. How, it was good that they were a part of it. Like, I feel like you're just taking a positive note towards it to get the conversation going. You're getting that ball rolling. And I don't feel like you're backing down from it, but you're trying to get them to talk. But you're coming at it at a very positive angle, because you don't want to knock them down. You do not want to knock your partner down. You don't want to hurt them, and I get that. It's very good. But you're very aware that this has to be talked out. And you just want them to talk it out with you. If they can talk it out with you and they're still not upset, that's fine. You'll let it go. But if they talk it out with you and they need to get upset, then you want to be there for them. You want to help them get through it. And I feel like you're addressing and realizing that, they need to address the loss. They need to feel it out and really let it go. To do that, they need to let it defrost. And if it turns out that they don't need to get upset, that's okay. But if they do need to, you want to push it forward so they have this conversation with you in a safe space where they can just really let it fly. Because what I'm getting is when you come at this in a very positive way, I'm getting that your partner is acknowledging that and seeing it through the eyes that you're presenting it. But I feel like they're also kind of starting to creep it out a little bit, like how they really feel and what went wrong and why they're not a part of it anymore. Because I'm getting the King of Swords, like, I feel like you open the door, you get that ball rolling, and then they get talking, and you do kick them into gear, and they really say how they feel. And I feel like they might get upset, but I don't feel like they're going to have, like, a freak out with you. But I feel like they're gonna explain their disappointment. I don't really feel like a lot of intense anger. I do feel like a lot of disappointment and sadness coming out, and it coming out in a way that you're helping them vent it out in a way that it doesn't seem like, I don't feel it's explosive. I feel like it's very sad, and I feel like it's very disappointed. Of course, not in you, but in the situation. And I feel like it is coming out. And they're telling me that you're working at this to make sure that they're okay going forward, because I feel like this conversation comes out And I feel like you're just touching base, making sure they're okay, helping them recover and move on. And I'm getting like this is your victory, this is the justice, because I'm getting like you being there for them like this is really helping them a lot. And I feel like it's really easier for you too, knowing where the situation stands, knowing how they feel. Because there's one thing here I saw on your side, which I'm seeing it pop in here, but it feels kind of weaker. Because it is a challenge card of yours to just like let it be. I don't feel like the majority of you are going to do that. But I feel like you might be at some point looking at this like you don't want to make it more difficult for your partner. And you might look at it like they seem to be okay, they're fine. I don't want to make them deal with this last situation. I don't want to make them deal with something if they don't really want to. The Four of Cups is kind of like, that's one of those things where you see some things in front of you, everything that's going on is fine, but there's that one cup over to the side where you're just kind of like, it's like that one last piece. And in this interpretation, I feel like that last cup is really the undesirable cup. Like you don't really want to upset your partner. And I feel like that's the fourth cup. Like you don't want to upset them, but you're feeling like you probably should at least have a talk about it. And I feel like you're kind of questioning, like, should I just let it be? Should I just let it lie? Like they seem like they're fine. I don't want to make them upset. But this is the challenge card saying, you know what, bring that last cup forward. Start this conversation. Get them to vent it out. It's better for them. It is the right thing to do. It's a good thing for this relationship. It's a very strengthening of a bond between you and your partner. You get victory and justice because what makes things better is working it out, talking it out, getting them to talk it out. The Three of Pentacles is you kind of getting that conversation going. It's kind of you putting in the effort to get them to vent it out. It's kind of just where I see you standing right now. What makes things better for them? Four of Swords. Nope. Four of Wands, Seven of Swords. Because what I'm thinking, they're going to concentrate more on you with the Four of Wands. They're going to concentrate more on the joy of the relationship and feeling happy in the relationship. And this thing they had to walk away from that they're disappointed about, I'm getting the Seven of Swords. Like they don't like what they see in the past, but they truly are just letting it go. It's almost like by talking it out with you, they're able to just let it fade into the past. And they feel better about it. It's not something I don't feel like they got complete closure, so I don't want to put that. But they're at a point where they can just let it go, let it just seep into the past, and it's good enough. And I feel like that's kind of the best they can get right now anyway. It's kind of the best outcome. I'm getting if they don't talk it out, it could cause problems in the future for, like, I feel like they could be very cranky for a few months, very unhappy. I'm kidding. Some of them could experience some depression because it seems like it's very low lying. It's very like just like a little like a thorn in the side. It's just there. By venting it out with you, though, I feel like that's not an issue because I do feel like if this doesn't get talked out, they're going to be kind of cranky. They're going to be kind of venting it out for a few months. It's going to cause problems here and there, small problems, and even you're going to realize some of it in your relationship because I feel like they're just going to have really bad weeks, to be honest with you. They're just hard to deal with because something is really aggravating them and they're not venting it out. So it's almost like an underlying thing. So that's kind of why I would do this if you're looking for a reason to actually go forward with it. All right, I think we're good with relationships for Capricorn. Let's do single for Capricorn. Single Capricorn. Messages for single Capricorn. Empowering messages to help them see the truth of a situation, to help them move forward the way they want to based on the truth of what's going on around them. The bottom card does want to come out, so let's see what that is. Ah, the bottom card is the Lovers. Alright, well, let's see where this is going to go. In a lot of decks, I'm noticing not this one, but there's usually a connection between the Lovers and the Devil card. You do have the Devil card here too. But in this deck, I don't see it. Like, there's other decks where you can see a similar imagery on the two cards. This one doesn't have it, but I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like that connection here, like, is it good or is it not type feel. Like, is this love or is this just obsession? Is this love or is this lust? And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. And I would like to start with the past if we can. We got the Queen of Swords in the past. Capricorn single, right? Yeah. Is this you? Is this you? I don't feel it's you. It feels like it's the other person or something else here. This person, I feel like they're a little bit too sharp, as best I can put it. Like, I feel like comments or things are being said by this person, and it doesn't really sit with you well. This person feels a little bit more, I don't want to say combative, but I do want to say that what they say comes across in a way that's kind of biting. And it just seems like the things they say can easily start a fight with the right person. And I'm getting, like, you're not really a fan of how this person communicates. Not towards you or pretty much anybody else. And it's not like, I don't know, I don't feel like this person is intentionally like that. This energy feels difficult for you to deal with, I have to be honest with you. Because it feels like this person causes a lot of ruffled feathers. I feel like the way they talk to people, it just feels very sharp. It feels very, very, like, it's almost like an accusing tone. But I feel like they push forward their thoughts in a very sharp way. And I'm getting this person, they might have a lot of baggage. Well, see, I'm getting this is how this person just is. There could be some baggage that's really accenting or accentuating some of these traits, but I'm getting like this is just how they are. And as we're coming in, I'm getting, even though this person is hard for you to deal with, I'm getting you're really attracted to this person, very attracted to this person, even though the way they talk makes you very uncomfortable. Because you got the Ten of Swords with the Ace of Cups, which is not funny, I know, but because it's like you're very unhappy that you're falling for this person that you think is really kind of disruptive to life. Now, your top and bottom cards are very, I think especially in this deck, because they're both portrayed by angels. You got the Temperance and you got the Judgment here. And not that it's odd for them to be whatever. I want to say Temperance and Judgment usually, well, I guess both of those cards usually do have angels on them, to be honest with you. I'm getting like you're trying to wait it out, and I'm getting, especially from the past when this person really started to catch your eye, you were expecting it would just kind of diminish and it would just kind of fade away, and it didn't. I feel like it's getting stronger over time. And the Temperance is like you were trying to be patient about it. The Judgment was like you thought it would just kind of solve itself. The thing is, the Judgment is saying, no, it's actually going your way in a different way. Because I feel like this person's actually really starting to connect with your heart. And you're really starting to care about this person. It's really starting to get something that, like, you're getting used to them being around. Your heart is connecting with them. And I'm getting your thoughts. Your thoughts are the devil card. You're thinking this person is just like chaos all over the place. You don't like the way they... I'm getting again, you don't like the way they communicate. You feel like they cause problems. Now, the bottom card was the Lovers card, and I feel like the Lovers are here. Like, the feeling is mutual. This person does very much care about you. And I'm getting, like, they seem to be aware that you don't really care for how they communicate. I feel like there's something... See, I'm biting my tongue, so why am I biting my tongue? I didn't, like, cut myself, thankfully, but I bit my tongue, so what does that mean? They think they're biting their tongue? No. Because I feel like they have a lot of pleasure coming towards you. They want to give more to you. I feel like they're trying to be more accommodating to you. I don't think you're seeing it, though. They think they're softening it up. They think they're tempering it down. You're not seeing it. And I'm getting a lot of the way they communicate is, they says psychic protection, but I'm getting like this is how they keep people from, like this is how they keep people at bay. This, like their communication style is how they protect themselves. You know what I mean? They come off strong and harsh and sharp, but that keeps people from giving them a hard time. That keeps people from like, you know, if they're going to give them a hard time, there's a lot of like, they got to have a lot of strength behind that. See, this devil card is something else. I really don't care for this devil card. I'm really good looking at it though, and I'm seeing like, to you, this is really a bad situation. Like, in your thoughts, you're thinking, yeah, I'm feeling for this person. I'm starting to fall for them. But you're really thinking this is a bad situation. And you're worried about it. That's your thoughts. That's weird. Because it's very conflicting. Your thoughts are like, this is a bad situation for me. But you're standing in a spot where you're very excited. Like, I feel like you enjoy time with this person, though. Their communication style is just kind of like... I feel like it's the communication style, mostly. It's weird, because you're standing in a spot where you're very much enjoying this person. You're falling for this person. You got the Lovers card here. But the Devil card is, like, in your thoughts. Like, you're worried that this is just headed for the side of a mountain. Like, you're going to crash. Now, I'm noticing in your future you have the Judgment card with the Wisdom. And, like, these are very, you know, complementary cards, clearly. The Wisdom to have the right judgment, to get the judge. Well, you got Judgment at the bottom, too. To come out with justice. Like, how is justice playing out for you, though? Because I feel like this is getting stronger, and I feel like the two of you are cementing in. I feel like you're really good for this person, but I also feel like they're good for you too. They definitely move you out of your comfort zone. Definitely move you out of your comfort zone. And I feel like it's one of those things where you're just kind of getting used to it. Because justice and wisdom is like, I feel like the way you're looking at this, I don't feel like you think this is a bad person. It's about the communication style. It's how they communicate, and I feel like it really kind of bothers you how they communicate. But I don't see like you viewing them as a bad person. It's just like how things can easily become a problem just based on the way they say things. Yet you're seeing a good person here, and you're just like, you know what? For a quality person, if they're rough around the edges of the way they communicate, but they're still a quality person. Somebody you can depend on, somebody you can trust. And for that seems to be trumping it. You feel like you can count on them and trust them, and they're a quality person. So even though it's very uncomfortable the way they talk, you're just kind of like, you know what, maybe we should give this a shot. It's interesting that it's going there. especially when you have the devil in your thoughts, because I feel like you're just worried that there's going to be constant argument after constant argument. But I feel like you're coming to a spot where you're like, you know what, I trust them. And just because they say things a little harshly, I think I can get used to that. I feel like you're getting to that part. Like the passion is there. That Lover's card is really coming in strong. And you're thinking you can get used to it. Where I see this going in the future here, at least for the end of this part, is I feel like you have to stand strong with how you feel about this relationship. I do get the Ten of Wands. Like, this takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of burdens for this, because I feel like the dealing with this person's mode of communication takes a lot of effort, and you have to keep it on point a lot. So you're constantly on guard, trying to keep yourself in check, having a lot of stress dealing with the situation, and it is taking a lot of strength to keep it going. Because I do feel like it's stressful. And it seems like it's all revolving around how this person communicates. It's just one of those things where you're falling for somebody you normally wouldn't, but the love is so strong here that you don't want to walk away from it, and you're willing to go through all this work, and you see it coming, and you're willing to, though, and it is going to be a lot of work going forward. I feel like you're constantly diffusing situations. I feel like part of the work here in the future is like this person getting involved with the people in your circle and them ruffling their feathers, not intentionally, and you constantly having to pick up the pieces or put out fires. That's kind of what I feel here. But I do feel you're going forward with it. I guess you see it coming, though. I do feel like that's not a shock. Alright, I think we got to the end of that. Alright. Anything else I missed here? No, I think we're good. Alright. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.